Hey there. So hopefully this will be a quick how-to or more of a show and tell, but for my cemetery, I use these. And what they are is they're called 50/50 LED modules, and they actually say 50/50, 3 LEDs. You can find them on eBay. You can find them on Amazon, I believe. I believe on eBay they're cheaper, but you can find them on Amazon if you need them to get quicker. They have 3M tape on the back, and different kinds have different colors. They do come in many different colors. I know that I have black paint all over my fingers. I'm painting a cemetery fence at the same time. I don't like this thing. I liked it, but I don't like it. So they normally come in a thing like this, and the color, that's the green on the wire, is the color of the lights. So these are green. All these are green. So this is kind of going to be a dual holiday how-to. I have chosen to not put away my Halloween display this year because I don't want to. We spend all year making a Halloween display, and then some of us for Christmas take it down and put up a bunch of Christmas stuff. Well, I'm going to do both. So in that effort, I decided that I wanted to make it to where I could change out the lights on my cemetery. From all my cemetery tombstones are lit with warm white. I have a couple that have blue on them, but the majority of them are all warm white. The monuments have different colors, but every tombstone is white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of new stakes with red. Ding, fries are done. Red or green. And so I can then go to each individual tombstone spot and pull out the white, unplug it, and then plug in the red or green. And what I was thinking is I was like, man, I don't want to go along and make a bunch of different, because I tend to move the cemetery every year, or at least move where the stones are. So I'm like, I don't want to keep doing electrical tape and keep doing, keep crimping and keep doing, because eventually it ruins your cord. Now, I have another video where I talk about how I do all my lighting, and I can put a description. I'll put a link right here. Yeah. I use what's called amplifier wire. I believe this is 14 gauge wire. And then I break off into speaker wire or other 12 volt wiring. This is all 12 volt wiring, but the thing about the 14 gauge is the smaller the gauge or the thinner the gauge, the less the electricity will travel, the less distance. This is 200 feet of it. I think I have 100 feet per section of my graveyard, and I break it off into 2 sections. So this carries the electricity 100 feet. It actually probably carries it more, but I tend to just want to do one line of 100 feet. And so then you don't have the end lights being dimmer if you have something this thick. So I call this my trunk line, and then I have ones that are about that thin, or speaker wire, for going from this to the lights. But I was like, man, I want to be able to quick connect, and I want it to be waterproof. Now, the connection to this isn't waterproof because there are ones that will clamp onto these things. They're called like landscape ones. They're not very reliable, and they don't always connect the right way. I have plenty of landscaping lighting in my yard, and it never turns on because the light, the dirt gets in there, water gets in there still. It's not waterproof, but it is meant for underground. Well, until they come up with something that can crimp onto here, and I'm sure there is, but I'm sure it's expensive for how many tombstones everybody has. But until they come out with that, you still need to, if you're going to do it right and legal and all that stuff and safe, you want to do your connection and then do heat shrink around it. I don't. I just put electrical tape around it and call it good. It's only out for a month. I don't care. Now it's going to be out for 3 months, but it'll still be fine. It's less time and less money than going along and replacing this trunk line, because this trunk line is like $20 for the 200 feet on eBay. Okay, so I was on the hunt for waterproof connections, and what I found was these. Amazon sells a bunch of these, and they come in a pack of 10s and 20s and 40s and whatever. I got 4 packs of 10, and I think I spent like 30 bucks. But what it is it's just like your car connectors, and now it's waterproof. And then you unclick it, and now you've got the light. So what I'm gonna do is, I believe all of my cord will have a bunch of these on it, which is the female end. So this will have, or it probably is the male end, actually, because it has the prongs inside. Anyways, this end will be on the trunk line, and this will be attached to every light. So then when I go to Christmas, I have a bunch of the red already on stakes, and I just go out there and I click them in, and I'm done. It doesn't move this. I don't have to worry about the stone, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to show everybody how to do this real fast. You've got your power supply. You've got this little guy. You can buy these little pigtails, or you can buy the RCA adapters that are these little. Do I have one handy? Probably not. Oh wait, I do. This may not be the exact one that we need, but it'll work. Yeah. So it's these things. And you can find them on eBay and Amazon. I'll leave links to all these things in the video, but it's got the barrel connector on one end, and then it's got the 12 volt end on that end. Boom. So then you just go along and you go like this. Doo-doo. Done, and you're connected. This one is actually really good, but these are just as good. These come in 10 and 20 packs, whatever, on eBay and Amazon too. But we're gonna do, because we're hooking up the wire to this, I'm going to do it this way. So we're going to make the hot blue and the ground black. That just makes it easier. Obviously invest in a good pair of wire strippers. These things are invaluable. So this is the quick and dirty way. You do it however you feel the need to do it. I ain't telling you how to be electrically safe or whatever. Use GFI outlets if you can. You should have exterior ones, should be GFCI if you have a code house. Anyways, but 12 volt wiring is not that bad of a deal. It's 12 volts, so you could stick in your mouth for all I care, and it's probably not going to hurt you. You can barely even feel when 12 volt electricity is running through anyways, so what's the sticky side? Like I said, this is the quick and dirty way to do it. This is just for educational purposes only. Okay, so now we have that, and so we are now connected. There's electricity flowing through here. I have other ends of whatever. So we are going to take the blade. Like I said, this is pretty thick wire. It is kind of hard to cut, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend using an X-Acto blade, but if you get it in the creases, it actually does pull apart just like regular wire. So what we're going to do is the other cool thing about wire strippers is you go like that and you can just move back the sheathing. Boom. And it doesn't cut it. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll get a little closer in here. Yeah. So we're going to take, we said we were going to take this end. Remember we said blue is going to be hot. Not everybody's wire is going to be the exact same. Also, what I found, especially if you're going to do electrical tape in the yard only, is do not, which I did on the first set, do not do these together. So don't wrap all the cords together. Just do one by itself like this, and then do the other one along with it. Don't wrap that one up and then pull this one next to it and wrap it up next to it. What I found was over time the water does get in because you've created a pretty good tunnel. So now we're going to do them separately. I'm sure there's nicer ways to do this, but And of course you can spray paint or bury the cables, all that good stuff. Now for these LED modules, the only unfortunate part is that they only come with such a small amount of lead. See, it's pretty small the way you cut them. Like I was showing you in the other one. This is about how far apart they are. So when you start to cut, one end will be really short, and the other end you'll cut this one. Sorry, I forgot I zoomed. You'll cut, because now that this one has a little end, you'll cut this one way back over here, so that then this one has a little end. Anyways, so that you have two with long ends. For this demonstration, we're going to do the red here. I already crimped off the white on that one. I absolutely love these little modules because they provide just enough light. They do kind of bleed off the side of the tombstones, but not very much. The throw on them is not that far. So I put them a couple of feet, maybe 2 feet, maybe 3 feet from each tombstone, and it looks good. So the positive on these is the color. So green, red. There's for the white, it's a gray. For the off-white, it's a gray. So that tells you what's your positive. Plus it has a little marker on there that says positive and negative, because they want to help you out. So these modules are usually used in big signs that are outside stores and everything. You'll actually see them if they're changing out the sign or whatever. You'll see these, and they're stuck on the inside, and their route and why they're all connected in a series is then they can wrap them in shapes. So that's how you get they just do one long run of these, 10, 15, 20 of them in each one of those letters. So, and it's LEDs, so it takes forever to go out. Some of these I've had for 4 or 5 years now, and still as strong as ever. I have yet to have to replace one, which is really cool. Now, after you've individually wrapped each one in electrical tape, you can wrap them together. But I have chosen not to. Normally I do a much better job of this. I do a much cleaner job when I'm out there doing it, but for right now I'm not going to do it. So we're going to do trial by fire. I have not tested these until I've been with you. Boom! Red light. That's so cool. And then, so we click that off. Let's quickly make the other one. This wiring is a little thicker than the one that's on the LED, so just kind of be, generally the idea is the thinner wire you're going to wrap around the bigger wire, kind of intertwine it. You know what to do. They do make waterproof wire nuts, and I think the other thing I'm going to do is start to get waterproof wire nuts for because I'm inevitably going to be changing where some of these lights are for this year. If you have a lead coming off that you're going to change out and move, just cap off the speaker wire that comes off the trunk line. Just cap it off with these waterproof caps, and then that will allow you to use it later. Because if you just pull the cord out or you cut it too short, it'll still get water in it and stuff like that. So if you just cap it off with the waterproof plugs, and I will put those down there in the description as well, and I'll show pictures of all this stuff at the end and with a description word title so you can look it up yourself too. I was actually surprised how cheap these little connectors were. Like I said, they were like $10 for 10 or something like that. I can't remember now. Boom. That's obviously a lot brighter than it looks brighter on my thing than it does here, but on the video. But yeah, so now I can just, so I have, oh, it's Halloween, it's Halloween, it's Halloween. Oh no, Now it's Christmas in the graveyard. Boom, red light. And I can just go out there, click them and unclick them, and they're ready to go. Now, obviously, they're not waterproof now. With this open like this, that's not waterproof, but when the connection is in there. So generally what I do is after Halloween, I leave all the lights where they are. So whatever light is in them, so the red ones, or what I may do is I may just go back and click in the white ones back into it, knowing that Halloween will be next after Christmas again. So, so again, you've got your, for this project, if you were to do it, you would need your trunk line. You would need a pigtail or the RCA adapter thing. What are these called? What are these actually called? Two pin way car waterproof electrical connectors, 18 gauge. So they're waterproof electrical connectors. Boom, big old bag. So you need those, and then obviously you need the LED modules, and then electrical tape or connectors of any kind, heat shrink, heat gun, wire strippers, a knife, and a power supply. One of the things about power supplies is they will have on here, like this one says, is 12 volt 1 amp. Well, that will 1 amp will power 50 5mm LEDs. These, I don't believe that these are higher, so they do take a little bit more, but you could probably power, I think I have 30 lights, so I know I have 15 on a 12 volt power supply, so you can at least do 15, but I would say you'd probably be able to do more like 30 of these LED modules per 1 amp power supply. So obviously, if you have a controller, you have a computer power supply that has more of those, you can break off several different 12 volt 1 amp things. But you can also get these in higher amps too. You can get the ones that come with computer, on the computers that have the brick in the middle. Those ones pump out more, usually 5 or 6 amps, and you can use those as well. So yeah. So this is just another way to be able to click in and out your lights, or just make waterproof lighting. Because if you wanted to just make waterproof lighting, where your connections are, you can use these cool connectors. So I just got those, and I figured I would show everybody what I got and how to use them. So let's go make some cool Halloween stuff.